summer is a magical time of year. So I hear. The birds are chirping probably, the sun is shining presumably, the ice cream truck is roaming the streets. Actually, I don't know about that. Are ice cream trucks still a thing? Or have they been cancelled or whatever? People are outside doing summer things. Swimming, camping, going to the beach, touching grass, getting exercise, all kinds of suspicious behavior. Meanwhile, I'm indoors staring at a beige rectangle, and I am totally fine with that. But if I'm going to spend my summer glued to a handheld, at least I can make an effort. I can play games that feel like summer. Games full of blue skies, road trips, beaches, vacations, sunshine, and enough good vibes to make me forget that I haven't seen actual sun in... I can't remember when, actually. So I dug through my retro game collection looking for the ultimate retro summer jams. Not necessarily the best or the most famous games, just a bunch of old school classics that radiate pure summertime energy. The kind of games that make me want to grab a lemonade, open a window, and pretend that the glow of a handheld screen counts as spending time outdoors, in the sun, with friends. This counts, right? I have 20 games to show you today. Some of these games take place on beaches, some involve road trips, some just have that weird summer vacation feeling that lives somewhere deep inside your brain next to the smell of sunscreen and melted popsicles. So put on your bathing suit, grab your favorite handheld, take off your bathing suit and put your pants back on because wearing a bathing suit to play retro games makes very little sense frankly, and get ready to soak up some pretend pixelated sunshine. I think we could all agree that there are few activities in life more appropriate to do in the summer than riding a jet ski. Or, if you don't have a jet ski, playing Wave Race 64. This is a jet ski racing game where half the challenge is wrestling with the waves. The water actually feels real, bobbing and bouncing you around like it would in real life, probably. I don't know, I've never actually jet skied, but this feels real to me. The tropical courses, bright skies, and Summer Jam soundtrack makes it feel like a sunny holiday vacation. So grab a lemonade, put on a straw hat, and go become the world's most extreme aquatic wave racing menace to society. Dolphin Society. Let's be honest, beach volleyball is already one of the most summer-coded activities ever invented. Can't do that in the snow. Well, I mean, you can, but it sucks. I'd much rather play Super Spike V-Ball instead. This is an NES game, and like lots of NES sports games, it strips the real game down to its purest form. Just two dudes, a volleyball, and a complete disregard for the laws of physics. This one is great multiplayer too. If you have a friend, fire this one up on a hot afternoon and let me know if you feel the same way. And if you don't, then play it anyways, but just keep it to yourself, don't tell anyone. The Adventure Island games are like what would happen if someone made a video game about what this game is about. You play as a shirtless dude in a grass skirt who spends his summer days running across beaches, jungles, volcanoes, and other fun deadly travel destinations. This is a pretty big series and they're all worth playing, but Super Adventure Island on the Super Nintendo is probably the one to go for. The giant, colorful sprites, cheerful music, and sunny atmosphere make it feel like a chill, fun, lazy summer day, while the deadly spiders and pits of lava remind you that you're mortal. There are racing games, and then there's Outrun, a game so chillax that it barely seems interested in the concept of competition. You hop into a bright red convertible, your blonde babe friend hops in beside you, and off you go on the world's most deadly road trip. You put your pedal to the metal and zip past cars, palm trees fly by, sometimes you crash your car, but that's fine, you just bounce back onto the road. Sure, technically you're racing against a timer, but it never really feels that way. It feels like driving towards summer itself. Next stop, Flip-Flop Town. Some games remind me of summer. Windjammers practically is summer. I freaking love this game, and I'll play it any time of the year, but it hits extra hard in the summer. On paper, it's just futuristic frisbee. In practice, it's a fast, stressful Pong-style game. Pong-like. Is that a genre? Pong-like? But it's the dressing that sells it as summer. The bright colors, the seaside courts, the ridiculous 90s energy, and the game is so fast and frantic that it kind of feels like you got some exercise too. You didn't, but it feels that way. It is impossible to play a game about bananas and monkeys without feeling like summer. And in Donkey Kong Country, you feel the summer vibes even when you're rolling through caves or riding mine carts. Maybe it's the island setting, maybe it's the lush jungles and beaches, maybe it's the soundtrack that sounds like it was composed by a very talented coconut. Whatever the reason, this game has always felt like a vacation to me. Actually, I think another reason that it feels that way is that I used to have this game and played it a ton in the summer. I have sensory memories of sweating in our trailer without air conditioning conditioning, knowing full well that the breeze outside would cool me off, but collecting all the golden Kong letters was just too important. Imagine it's the late 1980s. Your hair is somehow both too long and not long enough. Everything is covered in neon and pastel, and a guy named Brody just challenged you to a hacky sack contest. Welcome to California Games. Instead of saving kingdoms or fighting monsters, you're surfing waves and shredding half-pipes, riding bikes and trying to look cool while I repeatedly crash into things and embarrass myself. I mean, it's a game about beach games in California. Come on, it had to make this list. There are plenty of games on this list with beaches and sunshine and tropical islands. Goof Troop has all that too, but what makes it special is that it feels like the kind of adventure you'd have during summer vacation when you're 12 and your imagination is working overtime. This one is an amazing co-op game. You and a buddy explore an island, solve puzzles, throw barrels at pirates, and soak up the sunny sun in a tropical paradise. It's short, charming, and surprisingly clever. The co-op is especially fantastic. So grab your nearest available Goofy impersonator buddy and spend an afternoon getting stranded on one of gaming's most delightfully cooperative islands. Mario Golf Advance Tour is a Game Boy Advance game that we played in the Dusty Game Society, and it's a bit of an oddball. It's a golf RPG. You play as a kid who goes to stay at like a golf summer camp kind of thing. You can walk around, talk to people, upgrade your gear, win tournaments, progress the story, but it's all done through golf. It's weird, but it's also unique, and the actual golf here is tight. It's a great summer game because everything feels relaxed and sunny and cheerful. Come for the weird golf RPG, stay for the summer vibes. And to kill Bowser or whatever. I forget how Mario fits into this. If I were to dream a dream about a magical summer adventure, my dream would probably resemble Link's Awakening. But my eyes keep falling out and I'm trying to find a doctor to glue them back in. My dreams are weird. Here, instead of saving Hyrule for the 17th time, Link wakes up stranded on a mysterious island full of beaches and forests and talking animals and people who seem just a little bit off. The whole game has a dreamy storybook feel to it. The setting is perfect for the hot summer days, and the story will keep you hooked right into the breezy summer nights. Honestly, Link deserves more island vacations. The kid's been through a lot. Alright, pack your suitcase, ignore every traffic law, and prepare to see America the only way an arcade game understands it. Extremely fast and deeply stupid. And I'm only saying that because I'm jealous that there's no Cruisn Canada. Cruisn USA sends you blasting through beaches, deserts, cities, and famous landmarks in a ridiculous cross-country road trip where realism was left at the starting line. The N64 version is messy and cheesy and absolutely part of the charm. This is not a serious racing game. I'll play this any time of the year, but in the summer, I'll play it too. Crash Bandicoot on the PS1 is a game that feels like summer for no reason other than it takes place in a tropical location. Actually, lots of the games on this list feel that way, to be fair. Ah well, it's my list and I say sunny tropical destination games are summer games, and Crash is one of them. Oh, and this game is an early PS1 game with simple mechanics and a relatively chill difficulty, so I feel like it's a genuinely good game to play on lazy summer days where you have nothing better to do, other than like going outside and hanging out on a beach and socializing. But I'm not about to do that, so I'll play through Crash Bandicoot for the 17th time instead. Skate or Die is another game that I played as a kid, and it is not a great game by any means, but it got me through many long rainy summer days, mostly trying to figure out the obscure clunky mechanics of each minigame. The attitude is what sells it here. This game radiates this 90s punky rebellious energy. Looking back now, yeah, it's cheesy, but as a kid, I was sold. And also, it's a game about skateboarding, so that alone makes it feel like a summer game. I live in Canada and we can only skateboard in the summer, so that checks out. We do have a winter version of skateboarding though. We call it snow skateboarding. If you asked me to think up a side-scrolling video game with tropical summer vibes, it would probably end up looking a lot like Shante, because I knew about Shante, so I'd think about that game. In Shante, you play as a half genie who whips monsters with her hair. Beyond the sunny setting, it's also just a fantastic platformer. Great exploration, fun characters, and gorgeous animation for a Game Boy Color game. You got beaches, palm trees, seaside towns, bright colors. If this game were any more tropical, it would come with a tiny umbrella. I'm not a Pokemon guy, but this isn't really a Pokemon game. Instead of battling, training, or memorizing the evolutionary history of some living turnip monster, you're basically just on a wildlife photography adventure. You ride around a tropical island taking pictures of Pokemon as they swim and fly, dance, and generally behave like weird little monsters. Obviously. I find this game relaxing, colorful, and surprisingly charming even though I don't care about the Pokemon. Plus, taking photos of these little goofballs is way less morally troubling than making them fight for money. To be honest, lots of kart racing games would fit well on this list because of their laid-back gameplay and very often tropical settings, but Diddy Kong Racing is gonna get the shout out from me. Partly because you can play as a monkey, and partly because it feels like a summer adventure. What I like about this one is that instead of hopping between just disconnected tracks, you're exploring a colorful world, meeting weird animal friends, and unlocking new areas as you go. The planes and hovercrafts help keep things fresh too. Playing this makes me feel like a kid. Except as an adult, I don't have to dread going back to school in September. I can dread every day, all year round. Now, this game will only feel like a summer game if you play it in the actual summer. Animal Crossing Wild World is a life simulator that uses the real time and date of real life as the setting for the game. However, you could always cheat and change the clock on your device if you wanted to experience summer in your cozy little world infested by charming little animal buddies. You can wake up in the morning without a care in the world, walk along the beach collecting shells and coconuts, plan fun evening gatherings with your neighbors, and generally just exist in this lovely little place that feels like summer camp for grown-ups. The only downside is eventually remembering that you have a real life to get back to. Survival Kids on the Game Boy and Game Boy Color is another game that we played on the Dusty Game Society, so check out that video if you want to know all about it. But what makes this one special is that it's a very early survival game. You are stranded on a tropical island and you need to explore, befriend monkeys, catch fish, find fresh water, survive tropical storms, and hopefully find a way to get your stranded butt rescued before you die of starvation. So this isn't like summer vacation vibes, more like sunny tropical beach with palm trees, but you'll probably also starve to death vibes. Maybe this one's just nostalgia talking, but Super Dodgeball has always felt like summer to me. I rented this game constantly as a kid. I guess the rental shop near me had this one. You're constantly hurling dodgeballs with enough force to almost kill people while pulling off ridiculous special attacks. This is another great one to play multiplayer, and I honestly love playing this via emulation on handhelds because you can play for just 2 minutes and feel satisfied. And every time I boot this up, I'm instantly transported back to summer vacation, rented cartridges, and telling my friends that I don't want to play anymore when they kick my butt. And lastly, but not leastly, we have the Tony Hawk's games. Pick whichever one you like. I'm showing off Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 here, but they're all packed with summer break energy. No school, no schedule, no responsibilities, just ska music, sunshine, and finding increasingly creative ways to pretend that you'll never have to stop spending all dang day learning skateboard tricks. Oh, and have you ever actually tried skateboarding? It's hard. These games fill you with a completely unearned sense of confidence. After enough kickflips and grinds in Tony Hawk, you start thinking, yeah, I can do this stuff. You cannot do that stuff though. Trust me, I left a good chunk of myself on the pavement to learn that lesson. And there you have it, 20 retro games that, for one reason or another, make my brain smell sunscreen. Of course, summer means something different for everyone. Maybe your ultimate summer game is Pokemon, maybe it's Harvest Moon, maybe it's spending 80 consecutive hours in a dark room with Eye of the Beholder and refusing to acknowledge the existence of the sun. I'm not here to judge, but let me know, what games feel like summer to you? And as you fire up your favorite Summer Jam games on your handheld, under the shade of a palm tree, while grass skirt hula girls dance around you and a monkey hands you a drink and a coconut, and you wonder if you're in paradise or having a stroke, remember that summer's over quickly, but your backlog is forever. I'm TechDweeb, thanks for watching, bye-bye!